For this video, we're going to cover the Lexie Lumen hearing aids. This will be my review after I've worn the device, connected it to my phone, and been able to analyze the pros and cons to help you make a better decision about whether or not you want to buy this or consider buying this. Well, the Lexie Hearing Company is offering the Lexie Lumen hearing aids, and what they offer is a pair of hearing aids for about $800. That is a good price, and that's why we're interested in these, to see is that a good value. Because of course you can buy hearing aids for a cheap price, but does that mean you're getting some value out of it? As you can see here in my ear, I'm actually wearing the hearing aid right now to get a sense of how it looks. And before we get into the full review, if you're new here, I want to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get into it. The hearing aids come in this nice little case. It reminds me of a glasses case, but a lot smaller. And I take a hearing aid out of the case here to show you the different buttons that are on the hearing aid. First, we have this button up top, and this is a program button, which is called environmental control. So that's used to change from normal sound to hearing with a lot of background noise, for example. There's 4 different programs to change. Here's volume up and volume down. Nice that all these buttons are here accessible. At the bottom, this is the battery door. Uses a standard size 312 battery that can be taken out and replaced. And that battery door needs to be closed for the hearing aid to turn on. It all looks good. You can see there Lexie Lumen. And then this part is called a slim tube. This is the plastic tubing that goes from the hearing aid, pushing the sound through the air in the tube and then into this piece, this rubber tip that goes in the ear canal. This plastic hook, this piece is used to keep the hearing aid secure. This will tuck back in the bowl portion of your ear, and that makes sure the hearing aid doesn't fly off when you're moving around or dancing or doing athletics or something like that. Overall, it looks good. It's slightly larger than a modern hearing aid you would find at a clinic, but it does have a lot of controls on board. Also, these controls can also be adjusted via the app. So let's put it back in its case. There you go. Here's the Lexie Lumen hearing aids coming in the box. I wanted to show you before I opened it. You can check out the box here. Let's check out the accessories that are included. Here we have domes, which is the rubber tip that goes in the ear canal, 3 different sizes. We have slim tubes, the plastic tubing, an ear measuring tool to measure the right slim tube size, and batteries. Also, drying capsules to absorb unwanted moisture, a brush which will clean them to take any earwax out, for example, and then a cleaning wire also used for earwax to take out any buildup from inside of the tube. So let's open this and check it out, see what we got here. Okay, here are the moisture beads, so that's used to take any moisture from the hearing aids. Here is the brush and the cleaning tool to take any earwax out. Here are the different size of rubber dome tips, and these will be put at the end of the hearing aid. You can pick the right size. If you have a larger ear, you would want to go with that bigger size. If you have a really small ear canal, then you can choose one of those smaller sizes there. And here is that ear measuring tool, which you would put up to your ear, and wherever that point of your ear falls on this scale, that's how you would select the right kind of slim tube for you. Here's the bag of the extra slim tubes. So I took one out here. I want to show you guys. Basically, every 3 or 4 months or so, this tube will get very hard and brittle, and it also may be clogged with earwax. So they give you these different tubes so you can select the right size, but eventually you'll want to take the tubing off of this hearing aid, just twist and pull, and the tubing comes right off. Now that's trash, and we'll put on this new tubing size here, where you just find the right opening and you snap it in like that. Voila. Make sure you're doing the correct ear, right versus left. And then at the end of this tip, let's say I have a really large ear canal, which I do, then you can put this in the end of the slim tubing, and there you go. That's how you would change the slim tubing. So and you would take that sticker off. So they give you those different tools to adjust that yourself and save you a trip to a clinic. Overall, my answer is yes. These hearing aids are of decent value. When you get the hearing aids, you connect them to your smartphone through Bluetooth. They are self-fitting devices, which means you will take a hearing test on your smartphone, and then the hearing aids will be programmed or adjusted to meet your needs based on that hearing test. Lexie Hearing has an option to have a low-cost subscription model where you only pay $50 a month to have access to these hearing aids, and you can cancel them at any time. So overall, that's very low risk, and to me that shows the confidence in the actual product and the Lexie Hearing company, that they're saying, look, our hearing aids are good, we'll let you try it at only $50 a month, and if you want to cancel in 3 months or 6 months or 2 weeks, then you can do it. So that's really neat, and that's a good sign. So let's talk about the pros of the Lexie Lumen hearing aid. First pro is that they have an excellent customer support team. That means people are available to take your calls, and some of them, if you ask for the right person, are actual audiologists or hearing specialists that can answer your questions about how this hearing aid is actually treating your hearing loss in a way that you're sure you're hearing all that you can, because we don't want you to be setting up the device wrong and then be missing out on 30% of sounds. The major pro here is that these hearing aids are very affordable. And working as an audiologist, typically hearing aids cost over $1,000, typically $2,000, $3,000. So to have a pair of hearing aids that is under $1,000 with the option for the monthly subscription model, this definitely has our interest and is something to consider. So the affordability is a great pro for the Lexie Lumen hearing aid. Finally, the last pro here is that the hearing aid has all of the basic functions that you would want. It has the program change, it has the volume control, and you can connect it to your smartphone and make those same changes via Bluetooth. So if you're looking for a basic hearing aid that can make you hear better, you can adjust it very simply, this might be the right hearing aid for you to try. Now let's talk about the cons of the Lexie Lumen hearing aid. For me, the first con is that it's not rechargeable. It uses a standard hearing aid battery, which is okay because that's the status quo, but that's changing. Most modern hearing aids now are rechargeable. And if you're a senior, someone who has reduced vision or reduced dexterity in your fingers, then it makes it much harder to change the battery, which is something that happens a lot with hearing aids. It makes it harder to change the battery, so I would like to see these rechargeable, and for me that's one con. The second is that the colors that are offered are sort of shiny, sort of glossy, and for most people who are looking for discrete hearing aids, this might draw a little too much attention. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind. Another con is that the hearing aid is large. It's larger than an average hearing aid. For example, I brought a Phonak hearing aid up here, so you can just tell the difference in size. If you look here, you'll see the Lexie Lumen hearing aid in brown and a standard Phonak hearing aid in silver, and the Lexie Lumen hearing aid is about 30% larger. So we don't want large hearing aids, but we don't want super small hearing aids either, so that's a consideration for you. Another con is that you can't take phone calls through the hearing aids. This might matter to you, this might not, but for people who are often on their cell phones making phone calls, the modern hearing aids are able to take phone calls through the devices, and that makes a difference for a lot of people. So the Lexie Lumen hearing aid does not take phone calls or stream audio like music or podcasts or videos through the hearing aids. It can only make the basic adjustments. Finally, I want to bring up a potential challenge if you're going ahead with the Lexie hearing aid, is that the self-fitting process of doing a hearing test through the hearing aids on your own, through your phone, and then having that adjust the sound quality you hear. If you don't know what you're doing, this can be complex. So first, it's best to just get a hearing test in person because that's information that is 100% valid. Second, if you don't want to do that, or if you still want to go ahead with the self-fitting process, I would take advantage of their customer support team and really try to follow the instructions they give. Make sure you're getting all that you can out of the value they're providing with their customer support team and the hearing professionals on staff to help you through that process. It's been such a pleasure to host you here. I'm going to take my Lexie Lumen hearing aid off my ear now. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to press the button below this video. I am Dr. Ben Thompson. I'm an audiologist in California. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up so YouTube can recommend it to other people.